Hi guys, 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central. Well, there's some pretty interesting stuff going on across the country. We actually have a pattern that we were all looking for during the winter, and it's a pattern that's actually kind of like this. It might be a little bit more like this here. This is really what we wanted to look for during the winter when we had to see a nice big trough in the east and the ridge out west, but that just did not happen here. But what's going on right now is we do have some red flag warnings into parts of Colorado and then also into portions of Texas and New Mexico. Then we have a bunch of flood watches and warnings into Idaho and into also parts of Oregon. And then you have some spotty severe thunderstorm warnings, one into Kansas and then one into Idaho. So let's kind of talk really first about those severe thunderstorm warnings, because that's really what's pretty nasty stuff here. So we have a severe thunderstorm warning for Gove County until 8:45 Central Time for that. So that's about for the next 10 minutes. The locations that are included is Quinter, Kansas here. This is along Interstate 70 between mile markers 79 and 113. So be aware of that if you live into that region, which is pretty much nowhere land. Okay, so we have until 8 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, which is about another half hour from now. At 6:53 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, there was a severe thunderstorm that was capable of producing damage and winds, and this is for east central Blaine County, in central Idaho, and then you have southern Butte County and east central Idaho. This includes the cities of southwest, INL, central INL, extreme northeastern Minidoka County in south central Idaho, and northwestern Bingham County in Idaho. Locations that could be affected include Tabor or Tabor, Tabor. So those are the only two severe thunderstorm warnings that are out there. More widespread stuff is in the east, which is freeze watches, freeze warnings, things like this. So let's kind of talk a little bit about what's going on into those regions. Just be aware, because the growing season really has already started here. Bring stuff in, cover it up here. Just be aware about that. So that's what's going on out in the eastern regions. Let's talk a little about the models here. Now, earlier today I was looking kind of interesting for an upcoming storm here, and now the NAM, the only one that is actually really hinting at potentially something, the GFS has kind of moved away from that. But we'll see what happens with the following runs. And actually, the European model is indicating there could be some snow near Philly, coming up and through portions of New York City. It's just all bouncing around here. So the major consensus is saying that there could be some snow into Pennsylvania. However, right now, I'm just not sure. That's going to just have to... we'll just have to see how that kind of turns out. But this is the storm that we will be watching out here. Whether it comes up like this, whether it comes across like this, or comes down, the direction of the storm is going to be important. So right now, let's just say, if you live anywhere in the Northeast, you have a chance of seeing some snow. Could it be accumulating? Yeah. Particularly especially if we have a snow event up into this region. Definitely a snow event, accumulating snow event could definitely be possible. But for right now, I'm just going to say possibly some snow, but we'll have to kind of just monitor it here. This would be for Sunday, so we'll have to watch out for that. It would be really Saturday night into Sunday. Right now, there's still a lot of questions that are going on. Will it be major? I don't know. But this is really the major indication here. This is from the NAM, again, the NAM model. Alright, so let's take a check here on the GFS, and The GFS is really kind of saying, nah, this is not going to. But the past several runs of throughout the day today have said this. So there could be just a little bit of a blurb that's going on with the model. I don't know. We'll have to see what the tomorrow morning's runs say. And kind of analyze it through that way. Really, tomorrow, the days ahead will be kind of important to see how this will be going through. But essentially, what's going to be going on here, you just saw the whole run of the GFS. This is a cold front that'll be moving through. And this cold front is really important because if it wasn't going to come through, it would just be all rain. So this cold front is very important. You can see that cold front comes through. Now, again, the GFS is kind of emitted and out, but I really don't think it will be emitted out. I think it's just kind of a little bit of a, like I said, a little bit of a blurb going on with the model run here. We'll just have to see how the GFS goes tomorrow morning here. But again, after that storm, nevertheless, it will warm up, and I don't expect to see much going on. There could be a couple of other storms that move through, maybe even one that gives us some nice beneficial rain. So we'll have to see about that. But for right now, that's what's going on here. Now, let me show you what the NAO and the AO are what's going on with them. Now, the reason why we do have a chance of snow is look at how this is going to start dipping down. But then quickly it'll bounce up, so that's why we expect the snow to probably not stick around for too long. But that will be when the NAO drops fairly negative. And then you have the AO, which this is really important. This indicates the cold air, and this is going to go way negative, but then it'll start going back up, and then we should see another rebound. However, the temperatures this time, they won't be as warm as we saw with that other outbreak. This only suggests we could be probably getting into the 60s or the 70s, maybe mid-70s, and then you can sort of see how the models sort of show that we're going to kind of drop down from there. So we'll have to see what happens. But essentially, the NAO is suggesting, hey, things are not going to be really stormy after this particular storm that we're going to get on Sunday. And then after that, we kind of go positive. And then they kind of go all over the place after that. So really, this is for the east here. How about for the west? I think we look at the PNA, and you can sort of see the dip, and then that will be going positive. So there could be a storm that comes through the west sometime soon. But let's check out really the highs here. I kind of want to show you that. The reason being is because I just want to show you the difference in temperature from one side of the country to the other. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that here. Temperatures here, you can sort of see this is where the heat is really in the central plains. And look at how cool the north is. You can sort of see even into the west here, they're still fairly warm. So really, it's really the northeast. Okay, that's really where the coolest weather is here. You can sort of see it starts to try to come in here, but it's not as strong as this stuff. This is actually 90s and 100s in Texas and stuff like that. You can sort of see the cold air that comes in tomorrow night. I wouldn't be surprised to see some widespread frost advisories or freeze warnings tomorrow. This is for Tuesday, and we kind of are warm, like I said, or Thursday. We will be warmer here in New England and in the Northeast on Thursday, but that will be our only warm day. After that, we kind of get a cold front that moves through, and you'll kind of see what happens after that. Yeah, no more yellows. The yellows indicate the 60s and the 70s here. And you can sort of see how cold we get Friday night, and we go back into Saturday, and yeah, that cool air just sticks around here. Saturday night, this would be when we have a good chance of seeing the potentials of some rain or snow around here. And then for Sunday, you can sort of see, yeah, kind of cool, particularly throughout the whole entire north. You can sort of see the south is starting to get warm again, and also the desert southwest is also very warm. This is for Sunday night. This is for Monday. If we can get that in here, yeah. You can see how this cold air, and actually look at how cold the country is Monday night. Practically the whole Kansas and Missouri and Virginia, practically the whole United States is fairly cool Monday night. So that's what's going on Monday night. And then for Tuesday, you can sort of see practically the whole country about the same temperature, other than into the south where that's pretty much common. But other than that, pretty much everywhere seeing almost the same exact weather. No matter where you go. Again, New England and the Great Lakes are pretty much the coolest spots. The Northeast, this is really the coolest spot. And then there's also into the Cascade Mountains and the mountains of Idaho and Montana and Wyoming. They're going to obviously be colder. And then, of course, the mountains of New Hampshire and Vermont and New York will obviously be cooler as well. But overall, the general grand scheme of things, most of the country north of north of north of North Carolina, Tennessee, Arkansas, Oklahoma, New Mexico, Arizona, and Southern California, you really get pretty much the same type of temperature, other than in the mountains. So that's what's going on across the country here. Again, we're watching one storm, and that would be for next Sunday. Keep that in mind. That would be for the east. This event would be a little bit more widespread, although it's not as powerful as the one that we just saw. Still, possibly some snow in throughout much of the Northeast, and also some more well-needed rain. So that's what's going on across the. That's what's going on here. Stay tuned, and of course, we'll be back with some more of your weather coming up tomorrow. Have a good one. Take care.